What's up, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on iRacing for NASCAR Legends 87's at Good Atlanta, Classic Atlanta, Old Atlanta, Middle Atlanta, technically, if you want to count the pre-97 version of Atlanta. We'll see how this goes. Pretty strong SOF, actually. I just got back from the DMV and decided to pull the trigger and do my practice because what better time than the present? I've run a lot of laps here. I've watched CR2's guide about 4 times this week, so that's whatever, 3 hours of watching that this week, and I still have no idea what I'm doing. So I'll plug CR2 down below. Thanks for him for putting those guides together. Make sure you go sub to him. If you were an 87 person, you want to watch those guides, I'll put him down below if I remember. But pretty decent field. Talon's very fast. Dustin Buck won the split before this. He's very fast. Lewin's always very fast. Chad is very fast. So this could go well, and we could be okay, or we could run 10th. There's no in between. I don't know how we're going to do. SK's in here as well, starting down 21st. So shout out to SK. Love him. Good guy. And nearly a full split. I think we got like 24 cars, but I'm very perplexed this week because you have to run, I guess, to be decent in 1 and 2. You have to be right up on the fence, which makes sense to me in the Xfinity car and even in the truck. And I'm not afraid of the wall. That's not it at all. That's not where I perform best usually. And Atlanta in most cars is at least for me, I find the most success running right around the bottom. Trying to wrap that white line both ends to save the front tires, save the rear tires, and just play it chill, play the long run. But here you have to run the top of 1 and 2, and that's very, very confusing to me, and I don't really understand it, and I'm not very good at it. So I just feel like I'm plowing the fronts off of it if I'm trying to run too hard up high, and it's just an interesting dynamic, and I feel like I'm either going to go too hard and fall off a cliff, or I'm going to have plenty of tire left, but I'm going to be 10 seconds behind, and that does me no good either. So we're just going to have to try to balance our pace with the guys around us. Obviously, we got some really fast guys up in there, so hopefully this goes well. Hopefully we can just kind of survive. If we can get a top 5 out of this, I'll be more than happy. I think that would be a really good result. Um, we'll see how the long run pace goes. Basically, I don't really know what to expect or how it's going to go. But again, a lot of familiar names in here. Talon, Matthew, Chad's a good guy. We've raced with Ian before, and obviously I mentioned SK previously. So hopefully it's fun. Hopefully we do all right, and hopefully it's enjoyable. So make sure you drop that like, sub down below so you don't miss anything we do on iRacing. Need for Speed, Porsche Unleashed, Camaro content, track day content, etc. But we'll get on the grid and get ready to rock and roll. I was pretty happy with the Q lap. 239. I think that's about the best that I have run this week, Talon. I think the 239 is about the best I've run this week, but we'll just have to wait and see, obviously, how it plays out. I think we got auto fuel, which is good because I have no idea what I'm doing. Again, it's been quite a while since I've driven 87s. I think that Watkins was the last time. Maybe? I don't remember. But we've also run at Darlington before and maybe somewhere else that I'm forgetting. But kind of an infrequent thing. Hope to get one of these in, and here we are. And then I hope to get one more in, hopefully at Dover in a couple of weeks. That sounds like a fun combo. So we'll see how we do. No expectations. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully we do all right. And we'll just have to play it by ear. So I really don't want to run too hard, even if we fall back. I know that I am not good enough in this car to be able to run hard and save, so I'd prefer to save and hang on to it and try to play the long game than push too hard and be out to lunch. So happy to just kind of find a place to fall in line here, if that's 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever, and we'll try to pull a rabbit out of a hat. Getting on the pit road if it goes green is very, very difficult here in this car, but hopefully we can manage that. We've had a lot of guys with issues. Hopefully we don't have a fuel save race if we get a caution at like lap 30 or something. We've seen a lot of fuel save races this week and in this car in general because the car fuel mileage is kind of broken. But again, we'll just have to play it by ear and see how it goes. So thanks for everyone that's given me tips this week. Ian Griffiths, Ethan Gregory, E, you all know E, and CR2, of course, and everybody else that's giving me tips from JKR and everything else that's come into this. I'm as prepped as I'm going to be, and we'll see if I can put that to good use, but we'll see. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully we can hang and survive, and hopefully it's a good race. So appreciate you all. Again, drop that like, sub down below, and we'll see if we can make something out of this. So without further ado, let's tuck up on Talon here and let's get it. Kind of going to have to roll the bottom here this first lap, unfortunately. I guess we can. Yeah, we'll just stay down here, nice and slow, nice and chill. Unfortunately, I really want to get to that top, but whatever they want to go hard. Be my guest. Like I said, we'll just kind of slot in 6th or so here. Play the long game. No idea where I want my pace to be in terms of how hard I want to go. I just know what I need for a feel. But you know, obviously losing 4 spots on the first lap isn't quite ideal, but we'll see how we do. We'll go right up to the top. No idea if that's the move or not, but hopefully it works out on the long run here. Again, we'll just lift nice and early. Big old float. Top of 3 and 4 for a couple of these guys. That's interesting. I didn't really expect that. Goodbye the 4 car there of Jesse. I feel like maybe I'm going a little bit too hard based on that corner. We made up about 3/10 on everybody. Blew in right to the top. Talon still trying to run the bottom. I'm more than happy again just to kind of chill and ride here.
Wrecking.
Behind us already.
I knew it. Been some bitches on the last lap.
Sorry.
Gotta love when they're crashing on lap 3.
15, you're a fucking idiot, dude.
We got dead people. All right.
You drove it in so fucking deep, dude.
Well, hopefully they're dead.
Apologies.
Looks like he survived though, unfortunately.
Yeah, apologies. Your race is fine. Mine's destroyed. You're a fucking prick.
All right. Well, that's a start. 12 is dead. I think that the 6 may be dead. I don't know how far back Chad fell. Right there, P9 it looks like.
Too much hostility for my first cup of coffee.
Now we're down to, I guess, 22 cars. We had 1 not start, I don't think.
That's what I'm talking about.
But we're still hanging
Coffee.
P5, so we're doing all right. Single file restarts in this series. No lap cars yet, so that's all right. We're going to go full fuel safety under yellow just because that seems to be a thing. Fuel mileage is key, even in this circumstance, so... I don't know if I was driving way too hard there through 3 and 4 that one lap, but we made up a lot of time. It feels like we were around about where we needed to be in 1 and 2. Just rolling up on the fence nice and easy, nice and slow. So we'll see how it works. Again, I'm fully confident that Talon and Matthew are going to have what they need here to go forwards, and Dustin as well. He was very fast in the last race. I kind of looked at the results from that past split, and he was very good. So again, if we can get a top 5 out of this and kind of survive and get to the end and be in contention, I guess that's good. Cautions probably don't help me as far as tire strategy and fuel strategy because I, A, don't know, and B, that's not my strength. We need the long run, as we've seen at Darlington and other places. We need to be able to pick a pace and go nice and chill and have some tire left and make up the time on lap, 30, 35, 40, because these short runs trying to go hard and run hard for track position are not going to help me. They're not what we need at all. So last split had no caution, so we're already ahead of that.
They're not fucking hit me, man.
I guess I'm crashing at the back already.
I will report you.
I don't know what's going on, but it's not encouraging that we're going to have green flag pit stops, which kind of has me worried.
Please take your rage out of here, huh? You're an idiot. Oh. I will report you to be there.
It's too early in the morning for that.
Interesting.
Fuck off, number 6. Fuck off.
Okay.
No shit, huh?
Well, you ruined my race.
And the idiot and my funny guy, number 6.
Number's Chad 7. Dang.
Hey, 15 is your car wreck, man.
Decent split.
So
Chad's 3,300, number 7. Decent split.
Well, you ruined my
Alright, one to go.
race, and you ruined other people's races, so I feel it's only justified that you get your race ruined too.
Did he just wreck him under yellow? Is that how that works?
Shenanigan.
If he just fucking wrecked him under yellow, that's going to be like the easiest protest of all time. Like, that's crazy. But whatever. Alright, we are at 1 to green, so we're going to go back green on lap 7.
You were gone, and instead I had car contact with you. Like it.
Hopefully they shut the fuck up and chill, because it's not necessary to keep doing this.
Thomas Bennett, the biggest idiot I ever met. Yeah.
People are very interesting.
Rage,
Fuel save.
Rage.
Hopefully they
Here you,
don't just
Hans.
do the same
I
thing over
agree.
again, though, and plow through the whole field here on the short run. That would be pretty dumb, but we are starting for P5, so we're going to have a little bit of a delay here getting rolling, just waiting for the cars ahead to fire off. Big old concertina effect here on these restarts with single file. We're ready to rock and roll, though, so we'll get ready. Should be straightforward, hopefully. Hopefully we can just get rolling, get nice and easy in the 5th, and Play it
Yeah.
chill.
I agree with
Stay
you,
up on the
Polo.
top here.
Mr. Bennett is telling me, eyes for an eye. Fucking
Talon is
idiot.
gone. We will go. Good restart. Got a little bit of a gap to the cars behind.
That's fine. You can protest me for doing what I did, and I'll protest you for calling me an idiot.
There we go. Just trying not to scrub the right front
I'm
at
glad
all. I
you
know
had
we gave him
all
some time there,
these
1 and 2 for
items.
sure.
Maybe I get
Just
some
coming
help.
up to speed, but rather do
That's
that.
fine. I got everything. It's all hate speech towards me for calling me an idiot.
All right, I need to shut up and drive at this
Something
point.
wrong with your car, 21? Little full
All right, we're
start.
cruising. Hey, nice
Yeah.
and chill. I know where I need to be pace-wise
Probably
approximately,
other
but I'm
time, stay out
also
of your
more
way.
than happy to just kind of cruise, run roughly the pace of the guys around me, and see how that shakes out. As
Dude, my
long as it's not
shifter just
faster.
does not want to shift on the start.
Yeah, these guys are just really bad.
Is they supposed to do that?
Maybe the guys first.
You know, there
time
was
in
a
the
guy
car,
that happened
so
on a restart last night on
it's,
me, and it
it's
gave
that
me a
kind of
black
split here.
flag,
That's
but
what I
it
get
turned
for
out
racing this time
I
of the
ran
morning.
enough green laps, and I ended up P3 at the end.
Right.
All right,
Was it you?
just keep cruising here.
It's probably me.
Oh, we're gonna be cutting each other off
Yeah, that's
here.
what I was wondering if it was you. But you said your shifter is fine throughout. It's just kidding.
I didn't know if it was just the car and it's supposed to do that.
Well, in these older ones, they have a slower shift in between gears, but yeah, I don't know, man. If you're already in the gear, it shouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. It just did it
They need
then.
to shut up, like really, shut up.
What shifter do you have?
Fanatec.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have them. I just have the. I have a whole Moses setup, but the shifter is a Thrustmaster TH8, whatever the hell. One of those.
Might want to do an update. I got a Fanatec.
Probably need to.
All right, they really need to shut the fuck up now.
It only does it in this car. And not like the street stock.
Yeah, dude doesn't know how H patterns work. That's all right.
Recalibrate it.
Sounds like a plan. I like smart guys like you.
On
I've
my
been ran
Talon,
Fanatec
maybe,
for about
not
5
quite.
years.
It's all right. It's definitely a big old save there. Be my guest. You can.
Yeah, I had a
slow as you want.
G29 for my first couple of years, and I moved to this Moses setup, and man, I haven't anything else, but this is
Happy
pretty
to
nice.
keep
I
running
like
this
it.
top and riding. They really need to
Yeah, I
shut the
got
fuck
the
up.
Mojo wheel. I like it.
Going top 3
I'd like to
4
have
also.
the R12,
Happy to roll around the
but
bottom
I
here.
bought the R9, and the 12 came out
I think
like
the second
7
lane
months
ran that
after.
first seam is
So whenever
probably
this
the
one
faster
fails, I'll
lane,
upgrade, but this is good enough.
the second lane
Nice.
is trickier to hit consistently, so
Using the CSV2 wheel, I think it's perfect for these ovals.
please stop talking, don't respond. Thank you. Anyways, hopefully we get rolling here, get strung out a little bit. Pretty happy with my pace. Again, don't want to run too hard, but I also know that, you know, we can't fall back too far, so, yeah. Doing my best here, just be nice and chill, nice and patient. Again, I really struggle with hitting this top line of 1 and 2 as far as knowing where that limit is and when I'm doing damage to a tire and when I'm not. Also got to keep in mind that people may be touching the wall and slowing down, so we just got to be careful of that. They're going to go up there and leave me clean air to roll the bomb as much as I want. That's perfectly fine with me. I know they're going to beat me on exit. Perfectly fine. You got to keep in mind these cars are a little bit longer than I think they are, so don't want to put Kurt on accident here.
Kurt, you got a mic?
Big learning experience here today. Hopefully we can get something out of this again and just kind of have some fun. I enjoy everything here. This place in Atlanta, or excuse me, this place in Darlington, I'll race pretty much whatever here. That's
Damn, he stole it from me.
fine by me. But we're doing all right. We're cruising along so far. I think I got everything set as far as pit stops go. Okay, nice and chill. Play the long game. Just make sure we have everything set. 1 lap margin should be plenty. Don't have any green white checkers here. Got set for 2 if we pit under green, which is good. So it should be all set. See how spread we're getting here as we go. Chad back about 3 seconds back. He's 9th now, so he's in a big old save. Which is fair enough and probably a wise move, but I'm definitely not going to get drawn into a race here at this point. It's too early. I think Talon definitely is fast enough to have a lot to come back with, but see how everybody else manages it.
Sorry about that, dude. They put me in there hot.
Oh, Lewin just
I was
got touched
braking.
there from the 5 on entry, it looked like. Scary. So we'll clear to 2nd, kind of unintentionally. It's a little bit scary. I'm glad I went to the bottom, because if I would have followed him off in there, I would have piled in the back of him, because I had no idea that Kurt was tucked up that far on Talon, so. Don't think we're doing a whole lot of tire damage right now, just kind of cruising like this, but again, you never really know. Top 6 or 7 of us are kind of at this pace here, so happy with that. Lewin definitely getting a good run off the top of 3 and 4, but I'm not really concerned about that right now. Totally different lines. I prefer to have my space to myself. Is Talon going to take a big dive off in the entry to 1 on the bottom? Try to get for Kurt. Not going to quite clear up there. We got to be mindful of him diving in really hard like that if we're going to run the bottom down this end though also. So. Just a nice cruise pace. I feel like I don't know exactly what we're aiming for lap time, of course, but I feel comfortable at this pace to be able to do this no problem. So hopefully that's where we need to be. I trust that Lewin knows what he's doing. I trust that Talon knows what he's doing, and we're hanging right with those guys. So see how far back Chad is now. 3.5 seconds. So top 8 here, kind of in a group. A couple seconds. And a couple seconds back to Chad in that second group, which is fine. Again, if we play a long game, I think that benefits me. Maybe not against the 1 and the 2 or even Chad or any of those guys, but I think that some of these guys are going to burn their stuff off more than I do at least, and gives us a shot. So. Big learning experience though. I mean, if I blow the tires off it and really bad, I'm trying to get a little better in this when I have time to do practice and run laps, and if we are really bad, so be it. We'll learn and we'll try to be better next time. So this is going to be a gain regardless. Glad to run up towards the front even if we don't necessarily finish up this far, but it's all about playing the long game and being smart with how this plays out. So I think if it goes green, well, I'll probably pit around lap 60 or so. Seems to be the key. Happy to run maybe a half a lane off the wall there just to try to give us some margin for error with the front slipping. So probably attacking 3 a little bit too hard for what I should be, but happy to do that and try to balance everything else as far as lap time and pace and positioning. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable that we're not going to get run over from behind. Not that I don't trust the guys behind us, but too high there through the center, but we'll just lift off, make sure we get the nose cut back, which we do nicely. Talon's still running pretty hard to try to get to 3rd here on Kurt. Happy to just roll around this top. Attacking 3 just a little bit too hard.
Sorry about that. Just put up.
Hopefully it's not too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. So closing along on the 1/3 distance here quite nicely, pretty chill. Happy with that, happy with our pace thus far. I'm pretty content to ride kind of, like I said, just up in single digits somewhere. Hopefully the long game works out a little better for us. We'll see the gap.
Apollo, I'm
Chad
sorry
now.
for what I did.
Still
What
about
you said
3
was wrong,
seconds.
but I hope you have good racing going forward.
Starting to slip back there. 34.2 is decent lap time. We're right at that, so obviously a long way to go here. A little bit too tight off the 2 there. Just got the gas a little bit too early, nothing too crazy. But we survived it, so that's good. We are going to have to go around the 15 there shortly.
I'm not saying on the outside.
To go to the bottom here to get by the 15, it looks like, unless it's just going to guess in the straightaway. We do, easy. Almost hit the fence there. At least we made it. There we go, decent early entry and rotation. There we go, nice and smooth. Still 3.5 back to Chad back in 9th, so.
Oh, easy 20.
Sorry about that, buddy. Sorry about that.
Try to run the second groove just in case Kurt decided to chuck his entry, which he didn't, but we're still going to give him the space up there. So looks like Talon might get through here this time for 3rd on the top, trying to roll around the 5 since he went to the bottom 1-2 that time. It is very difficult and very
I won't
tricky.
block you 21. You're faster than me. It's
When
too
you
early right
get in the
this
point
fast.
I'm in here, where you're running the top of one end and the bottom of the other end, at least preference. Like, I'm perfectly happy to run that 2nd or 3rd groove in 3 and 4. I just prefer to roll around the bottom, and that makes it really difficult because one of the ends, if you get someone next to you, you're compromised, either end. So it does make it a little bit more difficult, a little bit scarier to put your car where you want to place it. So a little bit of a block there on Talon, but I definitely want that top of 1 and 2, and if he wants to go to the bottom, he's more than happy to. Go either end if he really wants to, I guess. He's going to try to cut under us here. Happy to let him do that. Chooses. He's showing a nose down in there, so. Sorry, Talon, I wasn't really trying to block you, but I figured if I was clear, I'd take my entry to 1. Just in case he's mad, I don't know why he wouldn't be, but just in case. Looks like the 11 is starting to fall off here just a little bit. Harbin as well, they're going to fall back to Chad and Alex and Ian and those guys. So we're back to 3rd, happy to ride here. Top 5 still kind of up in front here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 cars, so that's probably, I guess, expected on some level. Kurt's going to get to our outside here again, I think. Maybe I should start running up in the 2nd group in 3 and 4 just to try to help a little bit with where I need to put my car for 1 and 2 just to try to protect that a little bit more. So try running that 2nd groove here. Obviously Talon, almost 8K, he's very, very good, knows what he's doing. So tend to trust people like that they are going to put their cars in the right position. And we'll run up the groove here. On that top seam, bottom seam, excuse me. Just to try something a little bit different. Of course, I'm taking a little bit of my line away off of 4. My ability to roll up to the wall just because we have less space, but hopefully it works out okay. So what kind of fall off we got compared to these top 2 as we get rolling here. A little bit heavy into 1 that time. Still doing okay. We still made it. 11 still hanging with us. 8 starting to fall back towards Chad, but they haven't really made any progress so far back that. So Chad and them back there. Kind of hanging, double behind us here as Jesse takes a look at Kurt, so we'll kind of scoot down just a little bit, knowing we're not under threat from behind off of 4 here. Let these 2 at the front start to battle a little bit. They're both very, very good. I know they're probably not showing all their cards yet to each other, but they know each other well, I'm sure, in this series, so happy to just roll behind them and ride and chill. Not sure, again, how we're going to make passes if we need to. I'm not sure we can beat anybody like that. But, again, if we're just in the game, that's good enough for me to learn. You got to learn pace before you can learn passing. So, again, we'll kind of cut down a little bit here just to try to straighten up this exit, knowing that he's going to get a run off top and clear us no problem off of 4. Just past the 3rd distance here, 13 laps from halfway. Again, we're going to probably definitely take this deep. I think we'll put 8 gallons in it just to be safe. Jesse wants to go, he can be my guest. Be my guest up there, buddy. Don't know if he's playing the right move, if I'm just going slower or what, but I'm happy to ride fourth, just the same as I am in third. Again, if Kurt wanted to go, I'd let him go too, but he never really got in a smart position there to take the spot from me, so we just keep doing what we're doing. Looks like Dustin's just starting to come back towards us now. We've definitely still got our gap back to 7th and 8th on back, so happy with that. That gap will allow us to kind of watch them on pit stops and try to play what they play, knowing that we're probably not going to beat the guys ahead of us, so happy to just play that long game. Long way to go, obviously. 56 to go. So yeah, those of you that race more 87s than I, let me know at this point, or you can just watch the whole video, I guess, and see how it turns out. But let me know what you think of my strategy here, my pace, how I can improve, what I may be doing wrong as far as wheel inputs and brake inputs and stuff like that, throttle inputs. Again, I'm very, very comfortable at this racetrack. Atlanta, my second favorite oval behind Darlington, obviously, big tire shredding track, patience is key. But obviously this car is a little bit different than the B open and C open that I'm used to around here. So let me know your thoughts, and we'll keep chugging along here as we approach halfway. Chad has moved up to 7th now, about 4 seconds behind us though. I feel pretty safe at this pace. I feel like we're doing the right things, playing the long game, so not bad for showing up to 87s about twice a season. So we're there or thereabouts. No CR2 pace or even Daniel Costa or Ethan pace or anything fast like that, but hopefully we're taking care of the tires and we're surviving okay. If they want to keep battling up at the front, be my guest. I feel good about our pace. Feel good about our survival as well. I think that if we can just kind of hang out here and do the right things, it will be all right. Obviously, if we get to green flag pit stops, the pit entry is going to be key. The getting off the pit road on the 2 tires is going to be key, making sure we're nice and safe, don't kill myself spinning out. Another reason to go long is I think a lot of guys will have issues coming on the pit road with a single split. A lot of lower ironing guys that don't know what they're doing. But again, that's part of it, but that's another reason to go long and basically try to mimic what the guys ahead are doing if we can. If we can keep kind of a 4-second gap back to that Chad group, we can wait for some of them to come in and then just follow them. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But not really concerned with the cars up at the front. This year we're going to try to mimic them and follow them pace-wise as much as we can. But it's appearing to prove pretty difficult for Talon to pass on the bottom right now, especially if they're 1 and 2. So we'll see how hard all these guys want to go. If Jesse wants to go, I'm sure he is going to be let go if he can clear on the bottom. Big slide there for the 4, so he's definitely running pretty hard, burning off those rear tires. Again, I don't think anybody's really complaining about that at all. If he wants to go ahead and do that, go nuts. I think Kurt, like myself, is more than happy to just ride right now and chill. Looks like Lewin got up in the wall just a little bit. Gonna come off the wall. Goodbye, driver number 2. He'll fall back, but obviously he'll have a chance to come back here before too terribly long. We had some margin there with the grip to be able to make that work. Those are the kind of mistakes that you get one, you probably get away with one mistake like that. It looks like Chad's put significant time on the 8 and the 9 back there, which is good. You get away with one mistake like that. You don't really get to hit the wall twice in this car. It does some good damage to the wheel and the suspension at times. Obviously, aero damage just a little bit, and then burn off the tires, obviously sliding around like that. So we'll see if and how long it takes Lewin to get back up here, but pretty content with our pace here. Again, I love this paint scheme, the desert gold. Southwest Airlines obviously throwing it back to my childhood, retro scheme. No idea if this is a fictional thing or not. I assume it is. I don't remember Southwest Airlines ever being on a race car, but cool scheme, and obviously special place in my heart, Southwest Airlines with the desert gold from my childhood. So gonna keep cruising here. I feel safe where we're at. Talon's gotta be pissed. Like, he tried for 10 or 15 laps to pass Lewin, and then as soon as he gave up the spot to Jesse, got a freebie there from Matthew hitting the fence. So he's gotta be pretty upset that he couldn't get out and kind of set this pace where he wants to. I'm very happy with where we're at. We got lap cars that are coming out pit road on tires here that are going to come through us at some point. I think Jesse was running really, really hard there, trying to get some track position before the pit stop cycle. About probably 15 or so laps here, 15 to 20. SK's coming in here early. Not sure where SK's running, but hopefully he's doing all right. Hopefully he survived that first wreck. There he is coming in, so we weren't too far behind him, but hopefully he can get in and out nice and smoothly. Pretty happy with my pace. We're at a 34.4, which is roughly where I thought we should be, where I wanted to be, low 4. Felt really comfortable in practice at mid-4. But again, you never really know how that's going to shape out in the race, so very comfortable at this point. And still not pushing very hard at all, so I mean, I know pushing is not what you want to do in this car. That's pretty much a cardinal sin, but I feel pretty safe that we have a little bit more pace if I had to push for a couple laps without doing too much damage, but obviously you don't want to have to push in the long term if you can help it. 2 ahead of us definitely starting to pull us just a little bit. Not sure how much we're holding up the 2 behind us. But don't need to get drawn into a race here and try to push too hard. That's not going to be the answer. So smooth and consistent is the move here. There we go. A little better. Using more of the racetrack. Chad still just under 5 seconds back. Harbin back to 7th. Ian. Dustin still hanging 2.3 back, so we'll see if and when he can make a move, because again, he looked really sporty in that last race, but you know, never know how it's going to work out exactly. A little bit too high there for me that time. Definitely just starting to run out right front. I can just feel it, but again, we're right halfway. We had those caution laps, but not too bad for tire wear. We're going to obviously put 2 on it here if it's a green flag pit stop, and then have a shorter run to the end, so I feel good about, you know, surviving that. We just got to get to that pit stop in 15 or so laps here, and then we'll be okay on the back. This next time we'll check where our fuel's at as far as mileage before we need to come in. So I probably burned up a little bit too much right front there. Not sure when or where, but again, we'll worry about that later. We got just over 20 laps of fuel left here, so we could go to 65 if we want to. Thankfully, there won't be a fuel mileage race today, because even if we get yellow in pit now, we're going to be obviously full tank good to go to the end. So those guys
I'm
are just
not sure
capable.
what you're doing there. You went high and I went low, and then he pulled in front of me.
Looks like Dustin.
Sorry, Dustin, I'm trying to get out of your way.
Dustin might have run back of that guy
Well,
there.
pick a lane.
Not happy, obviously. Cost him a little bit of time. 3 seconds back now. Chad's still 4.5. Ian's starting to come back to us. He's 7th back though, so he's obviously got some long run pace. See how much he can use it here before the pit stop. Getting on the pit road is going to be really key. Mentioned it a million times, but it's going to be the key to this race. Anybody that has a nice cycle and can get in and out cleanly and hopefully not get trapped by a yellow is going to be in good shape. So that's goal number 1, the key.
I don't know. I don't get that. You pulled down low, and then you pulled in front of me, and then you pulled down low when I went low. It's like you're trying to wreck me. I know you were, but that's what it feels like.
Need to let it go. 2 in front of us definitely starting to pull a little bit here. I'm sure we're holding up the 2 behind us just a little bit. Probably just don't have quite the long run pace to do what they're doing. Not sure if it's a combination of running the bottom of 3 and 4 for so long that's hurt the right front, or if I'm just not good, or if they're just pushing harder. Not exactly sure, but we'll see what these lappers decide to do here ahead of us. Hopefully they don't do anything crazy or interfere too much. They're going to go to the bottom of this guy here that time. Hopefully we can get to his inside if he gets us to the bottom of 3 and 4, which is fine by me. Looks like Kurt might have gotten the fence there just a little bit. Troy is many laps down. He missed the start of this one, but still out here running the 23 car, so hopefully we can work through him, no problem. Again, a lot of lappers here that are going to spread out with a green run like this. Makes sense, but that's fine. Just starting lap 50, so it's going to be 40 to go next time by. Again, I think that Kurt's definitely a little bit better than us, but tough to pass in the bottom of 1 and 2, so we'll just keep rolling. So we're going to go all the way to the top, so we'll just run the middle here. Have to run the middle here, try to get by a 23. So I'm tired to get by him there as he just touched the wall in the center. That's alright. Again, probably cost us a little bit of time to those in front, but Kurt and Matthew are going to have to navigate that as well, so didn't hurt us too terribly much. 19 car running 12th here up ahead, so again, the more cars that pit early in this cycle, if we do get a yellow, there's going to be less cars on the lap, which is okay, I guess. So see how Chad's doing. 3.5 back. No, excuse me, he's 5 back because 3.5 is Dustin now, so Chad's fallen back just a little bit from where he was at, but again, I feel comfortable with our pace and margin that we should be able to get on off pit road and not lose more than these top 5 spots, which is fine. Jesse's rolling the top really solid down here on this end. Talon, I think, still just maybe not playing with him. I think he's got to go up and try to pass, but he's also not exactly attacking, so see how that plays out. Lewin behind is definitely caught back up to Kurt and I and stalking for a chance to make a couple of overtakes here. 3.5 back, 5 back to Chad, still 7.5 to Ian, so good gap, good spread. Again, I think I'm definitely holding up these two behind, but we can still see the leaders, which is always a good thing here in a long run at Atlanta. Not to lose so much time that you're out to lunch, but late decision to pit there from Mr. Smith, which is fine. Very late decision. Keep going. He's going to obviously cycle out ahead of us. We'll see if that draws these other guys to pit road, which I'm not concerned about immediately. If they want to come in, that's fine. But I don't want to come in quite yet if we can help it. So we'll cycle back to P2. Haven't led any laps here yet today, but P2 is solid. Talon gets his 2, he's going to come back out. We will lap him, but he'll unlap himself immediately, so that's not a huge concern. Down about 2/10 from where the leader's at now, so definitely out the front tires. You don't want to abuse them when you're on your 2 coming out pit lane either, but Talon, I'm sure, will be much quicker than we will, so no drama here, nothing to worry about. Yeah, looking to float up on that top lane and get rolling, so he's gonna cycle to the lead now that he's made that bed. We can't beat him, we can't match him. He's already got the jump on us, so he will get out ahead. Probably a wise move. We're just keeping an eye on everybody else coming in. Chad came in right there, so we may come in here shortly. See what these 2 behind us want to do. Obviously, again, the pit cycle is pretty key, so definitely want to make sure we cover off Chad though for track position, which is easier said than done. But you know, it's a coin flip how this works out. Harbin coming in as well, so we are going to win this time. Don't want to give up any more time to those guys, even though we had the gap. Got to make sure you get out in front of them. Nice and smooth here on our pit entry. Nice and easy, perfect entry. Maybe not perfect, we probably gave up a little bit of time, but we had the time to give up. Dustin going to follow us in behind. We should be able to stay in front of Kurt and Lewin just because of that. Ian going to come out here right ahead of us. Don't slide tires on entry. This car does not like getting stopped. We'll get in there nice and easy. Perfect. See what our right sides look like here after that. 70, 73. No idea if that's good for 60 laps. Good to get all the way out here. Don't speed, nothing stupid. Don't merge too soon. Talon going to get about 5-6 seconds ahead there. We are going to be Kurt and Lewin here. Once we get back rolling, we'll cycle in front of them whenever they pit. Again, the big key, don't spin yourself out right here. Don't do anything crazy. Nice gap to Chad, about 6 seconds. So don't need to go too hard here and do anything bonkers, but we'll just try to be nice and smooth, play the long game. Save some tire if we can get some gap, great, but we'll just try to get back to our chill pace. I don't think there's a lucky dog in this, so that doesn't really come into play. But definitely a little bit free here early in the run, which is all right. 4 seconds back to Dustin is a nice gap. Kind of feel like I held up the 2 and the 5 just enough there that probably took them out of contention with Talon and with the 4 car. 4 is going to come in right there to cover me off. Makes sense, fair enough. Well, he should come out right in front of us, which is fine. Not concerned. On and off cleanly and smoothly, though, is the key. Of course, the 5 and the 2 now are going to get some more laps out in front. They're going to probably try to go long and then really run me back down at the end, but hopefully we can save enough tire, have enough pace to negate that. Just got to be aware of them coming in whenever they decide to come in. 30 to go here, though, so third distance. Kurt's coming in now. Obviously, he will cycle behind us. A lot of pit stops coming now. So Lewin back to the lead. He will come out behind us whenever he comes in. We are going to meet 4. Interesting. That surprised me. Maybe he got 4 tires there. So he'll be flying on 4 tire. He definitely got 4. He's going to be way back, but he's going to be flying on his 4 tires when he comes out. So that's something to keep in mind. Not coming in yet, so just kind of underneath him. Get back on lead lap, which is key. Obviously, we'll go by Kurt there as he's leaving pit lane. Have a nice gap. Hopefully, a couple of seconds. Doesn't take much, just a little bit's key. Talon about 9 seconds out ahead of us, which is a lot. So Kurt's gonna have to fight with Dustin there. Battle for what's going to become third once this cycles through. So Kurt's going to have to pass the 11, which is fine. Actually helps me probably a little bit. 16 coming in there ahead of us. That'll put us back in third, I believe, because it's just Matthew out here yet. He came in right there, it looked like. So this should complete the cycle. We're back to P3. We're going to become P2. We are catching Talon a little bit, but again, he pitted about 5 laps or so before we did. Kurt going to work right back by Dustin without too much issue there. So safe here. Trying to run the second groove now, especially with a lot of pit stops happening around us. Not sure if it's better or worse or it doesn't matter, but try to roll that. Again, I think Kurt will probably catch us and likely pass us, but we'll see when he catches us and what we have to fight with yet and where he can go. But in the meantime, we'll just stay nice and chill and smooth and try to save some right side. That's going to be the key for us. We're going to come out well behind all those guys. Up back at almost Chadland, I suspect. But obviously he's got another 5 laps on the right sides that I've got, so he'll be pretty sporty, but that'll cycle us back to P2 behind Talon, 8 seconds. Less than 3 seconds to Kurt, but I feel confident that we can hold off Dustin at this point. So we'll just see how Kurt and Lewin play this. Obviously the 4 tires on Jesse's going to be uber fast. We'll see where he's at here shortly. We'll check. Such long pit stops though, so he's 8 seconds back, so he's flying. But we'll see what he's got left if and when he gets here. We'll see. 2 seconds now to Kurt. Again, he was better than us in the short run earlier, so not overly concerning if he's run a little harder. That doesn't really bother me. And he may well again roll up and pass us and drive away anyways, but pretty content with my pace here. Maybe a little bit too soft, but again, I'd rather be able to pick this pace and roll with it and be safe to the end. The car is littered on the apron everywhere for no reason whatsoever. 25 to go that last time. This will be 24 when we come back here, so Kurt gonna roll right up to us here shortly in the next 2 or 3 laps, I'd assume. Maintaining back to Dustin, which is good. 24.1 for Talon up ahead, so we're about a tenth better. He is maybe 2. Hopefully the 18 doesn't cause us the same issues it caused the 11 earlier. That would be ideal. Push a little bit harder now that we got some tire heat, now that Kurt's closed up somewhat to our back bumper in a second or so. Jesse check, he's 7 seconds back still, but obviously we'll be making up some time as we go, but that's a long way for 23 laps, so. If he's going to get us, it's going to be very late. Rick, I assume, got 4 tires there, so we should be able to roll away from us on 10 lap pressure tires, hopefully. 23, same thing, hopefully can drive away. Push a little bit harder here, not saving quite as much this run, especially into 3. Felt like we could drive my entry just a little bit deeper and still get through there okay, so that's what we're going to try. Gotta keep hitting my marks, no mistakes, not touch the fence, that's the key. Kurt's just about caught us now, but again, when you get to here, where do you go, especially in 1 and 2, because it's so hard to pass her on the bottom, as we've seen. Might even reach a break-even point there where he's kind of stuck behind us again.
I'll give it to you here. Just go where you want. I'll make sure you get by.
Dustin gonna let Lewin go, probably a wise move, but obviously 4 seconds is enough for him to catch up to us in 20 laps, no problem. There we go, nice and smooth. Don't remember exactly when Kurt pitted there, maybe 4 or 5 laps after I did, so he's gonna have a little more grip, a little more pace, but again, hopefully it equalizes just a little bit when he catches us, and we can get probably run a little bit harder if we need to. A little bit of a slide there, first time we built free. That's okay. 20 to go.
Thank you.
Everybody's made their pit stop at this point and cycled through, so shouldn't have any more drama with that. Under 7 seconds to Talon now. We're really focusing on the 2 behind us. Those are 2 that are going to come take spots from us at this point. So we're going to try to get underneath of us here off of 4, turn underneath to the bottom. Might use the 23 as a pick here on us. Just let him go if he wants to overdrive that entry, be my guest. Fence again, so he's got to lift out of that and turn underneath him here, which is fine. It's alright, didn't really cost us too much time, and again, Kurt, if he can run that hard on the bottom, he'll just roll by us anyways, so hopefully he starts to come back to us a little bit. It's going to be tough to pass again at the end of these tire runs, but we'll see. I expect Lewin, again, same thing, to roll right up to us. Jesse's only 5 seconds back, but now we've got 18 to go. That's a long way. Pretty good gains he's got to make, so. Too hard into one that time, lost the nose and the dirty air. Don't know why there's very much, if any, dirty air in these cars. They don't have any aero, but whatever. Still comfortable in P3. I think we're looking really good if it goes green here for our top 5 that I wanted, so I'll be happy with that if we can get that. Even if Lewin comes and passes us, and even if the 4 car Jesse comes and gets us, we'll be alright. So I think we've covered off Dustin perfectly. I don't think we're burning through the tires or anything, but 17 laps is going to click by relatively fast here, about 9 minutes. Again, I'm probably at a little bit of a disadvantage, just being my first start of the week. Just a lot of these guys, or maybe all of them, have run another or multiple already, so.
I'll give it to you here.
Jesse now 4.5 back. He just rolled through the 11. Again, he's on 4 fresher tires though too. He came again a couple laps after I did. 3 or 4, 2 or 3, somewhere in there. Not a huge advantage, but he's only got to make up a 1/4 of a second a lap on us, which he probably can do. But again, then what's he got left when he gets here to pass us? I assume that he would roll pretty solid. He also came in from what, about 5 or 6 seconds ahead of us, so it's a big delta to make up for sure, but probably won't have anything to contest with at the end of this, I would assume. Kurt's still running kind of a big arc down to the bottom. Maybe we'll have something for him at the very end here, who knows, but we've kind of equalized with talent a little bit, just over 6.5 seconds back. Don't want to push quite yet, still a long way to go, but once we get to single digits, then we'll start to run a little bit harder, because again, no green-white checkers in this, don't have to worry about it. If we get yellow here, Labor's going to hope for the best and stay out. I know a lot of pit stops will happen, but we're going to take our chances, I think, based on how this has gone. If we die, we die. It's just so hard to get rolling if you're back in any kind of traffic. It's extremely difficult to move forwards. Lewin still 2 seconds back. Obviously, Jesse will have to fight with him, hopefully before they catch me, the pair of them. We also can't afford, if we do fight Kurt here, we can't afford to lose too much time sticking around. So a lot of factors in play here. Lewin definitely has the overspeed, as does the 4, obviously, but it's about where these things all shake out in terms of where we're at and how they all form together. So again, obviously, we're on the top. We're going to make them try to pass us on the bottom, but I don't feel like I can quite run top of 3 and 4 to the level I need to, or the level that they can. So that's going to be a factor also. 13 more. Happy with this though, regardless of how it shakes out. 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever, good result. Happy I learned a lot about how this tire works and where I need to be different and better, but hopefully I can have some good talks with, again, E and Daniel and CR2 and everybody else that runs this more frequently, and we can try to be a little bit better next time out. So after this, we got about 3 weeks to turn our attention to Dover for this series, but obviously there will be other content in between now and then. So as we get down here to the final 10 laps, again, I'll say once again, make sure to drop that like, sub down below. If you are new, greatly appreciate you all so much. Awesome that we get to have good racing like this, and I'm glad to be back in this series and had some good time to put laps in and practice and learn this week, so that's been a pleasure for sure. 2 behind us, definitely catching us big chunks here. Just about how it all shakes out time-wise, where they fall off, and when they get here, how they pass. Obviously, Kurt rolled right by us without too much issue, and then pretty much stabilized at that 3/4 of a second mark. Am feeling like as the rear tires go ahead and we're pushing a little bit harder here, I'm having to run a little bit more of an arc to the bottom in 3 and 4 to keep momentum up without having the big slide. So again, who knows, we'll see. We'll keep chugging along. Hopefully the 18 lap car doesn't interfere again here with us. So a little bit too hard in the 1 that time, lost the nose again. Not too crazy, but enough. Cost us a 10th, maybe 2. 10 to go here this time, 6 seconds up to Talon. So of course, once we get to that about 5 to go mark, we're not having any more pit stops, so, or not any more green flag laps, I should say. We'll just end up in yellow at that point. We got a lot of lap cars, so 10 to go. Definitely think that Matthew may catch us, but we'll see how it shakes out and where he goes when he gets there. And I'm not sure Jesse's going to catch either of us, honestly, but playing it by ear. You gotta stay diligent, not lose time in the traffic here. A couple lap cars up ahead. Just keep staying patient and aggressive with, but now that we're at 9 to go, we'll start to push a little bit harder. Can't do too much damage to a tire in 9 laps, and obviously we're not going to go full Q trim send, but just a little bit more aggressive on the throttle and the steering wheel, knowing that we don't get to bring the tires home with us, so we might as well use them up. Losing about a 1/10 and a half or so in 1 and 2 to both the cars behind us, but seems like we get off there decently. 18 is going to pull off for us, thank you much. I don't know, maybe I should have fought the 5 harder, because he's kind of just maintained there. But he caught me so hard, dove right by us as we were in some traffic that I didn't even consider, with 30 to go or whatever, fighting him for it. I just, you know, be my guess going ahead. Maybe I should have fought him harder, let me know. We've kind of stabilized with Lewin. Again, he's gaining a 10th or so some of these laps on us. 23 coming up here on stickers, I'd assume. So we have to be mindful of that. But Jesse's definitely running us down. May catch Matthew, but I think Matthew might hit the fence once or twice or something, because he's still basically the same gap he's had back. Hopefully Troy on his stickers here doesn't come up and start screwing with us too terribly much. Wants to run the bottom in 3 and 4 and get by us. That's cool with me. Actually works out really well if he can get there. Starting to get close here, 6 to go. Just starting to lose that time difference we had up to Talon. Now he's definitely equalized and maybe even gotten a little faster than what we're at. SK currently 13th, I see up there on the board, so that's cool. 23 gonna go by us here. Hold the bottom on exit, that's good. Hopefully you can clear us one of these times instead of just blinking next to us, that's always lovely. He wants to go, hopefully he can go into 1 and not affect us. 5 to go, 5 fingers from the flagman. Bernie, Barney, Tyler, sorry, whatever the hell his name is, Bernie, Barney, which is it? I don't care. Hopefully this 23 doesn't run us over. That'd be a really shitty way to end this here. He's blinking like crazy. He's on fresh tires, but he's really being a menace to this right now, so. Still got some gap back, but a little bit worried about him. 4 to go, don't think either of the 2 behind us will catch us in that amount of time. Actually, I know they won't as long as I don't make a mistake or slide. Since I've been dicking around here, worried about 23. Kurt has pulled out to 1.5, so again, he's got more speed, or at least at this stage, so glad I didn't hold him up too much there and try too hard to keep him behind us because it wasn't going to happen, it looks like. So obviously we're done with pit stops. If we get a yellow now, race is over. Should be whatever. I'd like to finish under green just so we can check tires, but I don't remember why I said 70, 73 were for the first run, so 5 laps of fuel is plenty. We're coming to 3 to go. SK trying to hang on to 13th here from the 14th of Jack. Get a decent result in the field at 24, whatever we got here for him. Probably gain some ironing. Troy has now fallen back and is going to mess with Matthew a little bit with 3 to go, so see how that all shakes out. Hopefully it doesn't cost him any time. Can't quite tell. Looks like Lewin had to go to the bottom 1 and 2, so probably didn't cost him very much at all, but we'll gain all that difference back on exit. May affect the 4 getting to him, we'll see. Two to go here for Talon up ahead and Kurt, and then me, the infamous popsicle sticks. 2 more smooth ones, they will not catch us from behind, so happy with this. And I'm very glad 3 car finishing 3rd. Again, we got a little bit lucky with the 4 taking 4 tires and the 2 going longer and just kind of running out of time. And again, I think we held up the 5 with the 2 plenty. Matthew also hit the fence, so I'm very pleased that even if those things hadn't happened, if everybody would have kind of ran where they normally should, we would have been 5th, I think, which is plenty good. That's what I wanted. That's what I was hoping. I was optimistic we could actually put it together, but 5th is and would be a good result. But we got 1 more good one here. No pressure behind. Dustin 6 back. Chad ends up 13 back. 1 to go. Credit One Bank, please sponsor me. And let's bring this one home. So off into turn 1, final time up on the fence. Still very perplexed about why this is a thing. It makes sense when we get in the long run, but going up there right from the start makes no sense to me. That why it doesn't burn off more tire, but no matter. Good race, guys. Nice and smooth off into 3.
Nice, clean race, guys.
Clean other than that first incident that we're going to have intent wrecking going on. We'll have to go back and watch what happened at start there with those guys. But come off a 4 at my 2nd favorite oval, and we will take a podium in P3. Hell yeah, that was good stuff. A lot of fun. Good racing with Kurt, good racing with Lewin up there. We got to battle with Talon for a little while. And that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Still perplexed and not exactly sure where our pace needs to be and how it went, but happy with the drive I put together. Happy that we kind of ran where we should have, I think, and obviously being number 3, finishing 3rd is good. Pull off here. Looks like the 4, probably questioning the 4 tire decision. I mean, he got back to a decent spot. Field is done, so incidents don't count. Nice and smooth in the box here. Happy with that. I'm pretty tired after that one. Again, went with the sweatshirt this morning. It's pretty cold here, but yeah, Jesse realizing that 4 wasn't the move, but again, he got back to 5th, so it's not like it cost him 8 spots, whatever. He probably would have run 2nd, maybe 3rd, but 5th is what it is. We'll check our tires here compared to what we were at the first stop. 70, 73 after that 58 laps or whatever. Put the rights on, and we were 85, 88. So I'm pretty happy with that. That was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed it. 13x for this dude. We'll have to go back. He must have had that intent wreck because that's a lot of incidents. That's a lot of crashing. But we'll go back and watch that. SK in the 17 car comes home 13th, so right in the middle of the field, out of field 24, so that's a good run for him. Should gain some ironing. Let's go back and watch those opening couple laps just to see what the hell happened with these guys, because it was a little bit of a joke, I think. But it said the 15 ran them over, so we'll check here. I think it was lap 3. That's an interesting start. What is this? Oh, they're all in the outside lane, so big check up there. Looks like 21 just did not go, couldn't get a gear. Third lap, it looks like, is when all the shenanigans starts with the 6 car. There he goes on the inside, so we'll see what happens on the third lap. I think it was in the 1, so not sure. They all seem to be pretty much taking their time here, but we'll see what happens as we watch this progress. I expect death. Yeah, he drove in there really, really deep and just ran the 6 car over. I mean, it happens, but you gotta be aware of what's going on. The 6, of course, gets absolutely pile driven there by the 12, who also disconnected early from this. So big crash there. Unfortunate, get taken out that early. But the question is, did the 6 come in like intent wreck the other dude again? That's a big no-no. I mean, it's a shitty move to get taken out like that, and definitely on the 15. But you can't do this. This is just unwise, let's say. But just come in, get your damage fixed, be pissed about it, chalk it up to never giving that guy room again, never having respect for them again. But you can't do this. I know it's a bad race and you got junked, but I assume that he's going to come and intent wreck this guy, which is a big no-no. So not sure what he's waiting for here. He can just roll right up there quickly. Oh, what happened here? Did he hit the grass and spin out? Yeah, he did. Hit the grass, self-spun, which is pretty funny. Drove through pit lane. Comes right back out with his black flag. Looking for the 15. I'm sorry, Mr. Thomas Bennett, but this is pretty funny. Yeah, that's a big no-no. That's a big old no-no. You can't do that. You cannot make that move. It's just a frowned upon thing. You just can't do it. So whatever. We will go check out the results here quickly as we roll on. Green is good, plus 19 ironing. We get back up over that 5,600 mark. Still, I'm not pushing for 6K at this point. I really don't care. I just want to have good fun racing, but having green numbers is always good. Nice long run there. Didn't lead any laps just because of the way the pit cycle worked out, but we got a P3. Should have been probably a P5, which it looks like based on this here. It's only 6 gain for Jesse. P5 might have been, +0 basically, which kind of sucks, but again, a break even would be fine. Pretty low SOF with the single split like this, only a 2,200. So, but we'll take our P3. Happy with it. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. Let's check out where some of the notables finished. Talon wins it, obviously. Lewin finishes 4th. Dustin, who won the previous split, finishes 6th. Chad winds up in 7th with a +22. Ian ends up 8th. Harbin fell all the way back to 9th, but he does get over 3K. SK, +23 ironing, my boy. Good plus safety rating. We get that 499 for you, baby. +23 is good. Get him up over 1,500 from 23rd. From 13th. He started 21st. And let's see where anybody else notable was that we saw. I don't think so. But Thomas Bennett, you are definitely the champion of the day. I know that you're pissed. But this safety rating says a lot. I know you're at a 2 point something, but you just can't do that. So 13x for him. A little bit funny, but we'll take it. Happy with that. Good race, good fun, and I hope you enjoy it. So again, make sure you drop that like, sub down below. Thank you so much to everybody that helped out with this. I'll link CR2 down below. Make sure you go check out his 87's guides if you're an 87 racer, and be prepared for the upcoming race week. So Richmond just came out at the time of recording yesterday. So hope you all are having a great day and a great week, and we'll move on to what's next. So that's going to be it. Appreciate you all so much, as always. Till next time. Bye-bye.